Welcome to Biology Made Easy. Today we are looking at a dissection of a toad, and we are concerned with looking at the structures that makes the toad make sound and croak, and also the other structures concerned with breathing, the buccal cavity and the lungs, and how they are related to the laryngotracheal chamber. Now, the laryngotracheal chamber is made up of the larynx, glottis, and trachea. It's a chamber and we want to look at the inside. Now, to make it easier for us, where is the larynx, glottis, and trachea in the human system? I have made an illustration here. You have the nasal passage, and then you have the buccal cavity. Now, the nasal passage and the buccal cavity have a common area known as the pharynx. So that's the pharynx in this area. And the pharynx, a common area for air passage and also for food or anything that is swallowed, that is the pharynx. This area, when swallowing is taking place, the passage for the air will need to be closed, otherwise the food will enter the air passage. So there is this epiglottis here which closes the air passage, and so this area is the glottis. That's the glottis. So during swallowing, the epiglottis will have to fall down, close the glottis, and then from the glottis you have this area as the larynx, and the larynx have the vocal cords in it, and then you come to the trachea and then the lungs. Now this area, which is the larynx, the glottis here, the larynx, and the trachea, together form the laryngotracheal chamber in the toad. So the glottis here, the larynx, and then the trachea, this area is the laryngotracheal chamber in the toad. Now, we also want to know that in man we have the epiglottis, that is the flap here that closes the glottis. In the toad, you don't have the epiglottis, you have the arytenoid cartilage. There are two. We'll see them in the dissection. So here we have the toad, the ventral body cavity is opened, and we discussed how to do it in earlier videos. Please check. Here is the laryngotracheal chamber where sound is produced and is also a passage for breathing. So we are opening up the laryngotracheal chamber to see the contents. Here, very lovely structures. We see here, we are going to name them, but look at how the structures behave as the chamber is manipulated. The chamber is connected to the buccal cavity. So we are cutting through the floor of the buccal cavity, and here we have the buccal cavity opened, and you see the structures in the laryngotracheal chamber still. The structures, these are arytenoid cartilages. There are two. They control the glottis. So you can see when they are pushed out, you can see the glottis there as a whole. And here we have these structures, fleshy structures. They are two. They are vocal cords. They stretch across the chamber. And here we have the vocal sac. This sac, they are two. They are found in only males. Well, yes, so the structures are still being seen here, and we want to show that the structures in this chamber, the chamber is connected to the buccal cavity, but then also is connected to the lungs. So here, because it's a chamber that air passage for breathing goes on from the buccal cavity, and then is connected to the lungs, that's the left lung. Then this same lung, when air is pushed out of it, it affects the structures to cause sound to be made. So air is pushed from the lungs. It will make the structures in the chamber make sound. Well, here is also the right lung that we see that the laryngotracheal chamber is connected to the buccal cavity and also the lungs to bring about breathing in the throat, but also sound in the chamber. Then here, these are the arytenoid cartilages. See, there are two. They form semicellular valves. When they are pushed aside, they open up and show the glottis. When they are put one side, one goes here, one goes here. Glottis, a hole is formed, that's the glottis. Then we have this as the air sacs only in males. That's enable croaking. Now here you see the arytenoid cartilage, one push, and that's the glottis being shown. These threads are fleshy elastic threads. These are the vocal cords. They are found across the laryngotracheal chamber, that's the vocal cords. Good. Now, when air is pushed from the lung, it causes the vocal cords to vibrate and sound is made. That's how sound is made. And then these are the vocal sacs. When air is pushed from the lung, it causes the vocal sacs to inflate, and then it amplifies the sound of the vocal cords, and then croaking is done.